Good afternoon, everybody. Just checking all those at home can hear me. If you can give me a thumbs up.
Yes, I can hear you.
Brilliant, thank you. So good afternoon and welcome to this multi-location hybrid meeting of Governance and Audit Committee on Friday the 16th of June 2023. The first item on the agenda is appointment of Chair and Deputy Chair for the civic year 2023-2024. Please can I have a proposer for Chair?
I'd like to propose Joanna Jenkins for Chair, please.
Thank you. And can I have a seconder for Chair, please?
Happy to second Joanna as Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. So if members show their hands if they're indicating to the contrary, if not, I will say that, Joanna, you can take the chair. Thank you. I see no indication.
Thank you very much indeed, and thank you to everyone for your confidence in me. I thoroughly enjoyed chairing this committee last year, and I'm sure I will do for this coming year. So please could I have a proposer for the position of Deputy Chair?
Again, I'd like to propose Helen Griffiths for position of Deputy Chair.
Please can I have a seconder for that proposal?
Happy to second Helen Griffiths as Vice Chair. Thank you.
Can I please confirm all members are in favour of Mrs Griffiths as Deputy Chair? If not, please raise your hands.
I see no indication, Chair.
Thank you all. Therefore, it's been agreed for the civic year that Helen Griffiths will be the Deputy Chair. Before I continue with the remainder of the agenda, I will go through the usual housekeeping rules. Please note this meeting will be recorded. Please ensure your phones are switched to silent for the duration of the meeting, and members who are present in the committee room, please mute any devices you are using. If you wish to speak, you are asked to raise your hand. Obviously, for those in the chamber, their physical hand, and for those at home or in outside the committee room, their electronic hand. Thank you. So the next item of the agenda is agenda item 2, Chair's announcement. I do not believe, Chloe, that we have any members of the public viewing today. Thank you very much. In which case we will move on to agenda item 3, declarations of interest. Before I ask for any other declarations of interest, may I just mention that I'm involved in 2 charities, both of which will have benefited from grant funding mentioned in item 9 of the draft statement of accounts. I've checked the matter with the chief legal advisor, and he says as these are non-prejudicial matters, there is no reason for me to leave the chamber. So does anyone else have any declarations of interest they wish to make? Councillor Rogers?
Item 11, there's a report, a post-audit review. It mentions Llangatu Community School, and I'm a governor on Llangatu Community School. Okay.
I take it you will leave the chamber at that point.
It's that they've given dispensation.
In which case, Councillor Rogers,
you can stay. It's
Thank you very much indeed. So the next item on the agenda are the minutes of the previous meeting. They can be found at agenda item 4. The minutes are from the meeting held on the 17th of March, and they're on pages 5 to 12 of the agenda pack. They're here for approval. Does any member have any comments on the accuracy of the minutes?
I see no indication.
Can I therefore have a proposer and seconder to approve the minutes?
Happy to propose, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Carpenter. Seconder? Thank you, Councillor Peter Richards. On that basis, we obviously note that the minutes have been approved. The next item on the agenda is agenda item 5, the forward work programme. It's here again for noting. And again, are there any comments on this item?
I see no indication, Chair, and as you said, it's just for noting.
Thank you very much indeed, in which case we note the agenda item and move on to the next item, which is agenda item 6. The report can be found on pages 17 to 24 and is here for information. Maybe I'll start by asking officers if they have any comments to make at this point.
Thank you, Chair. No comments to make on the report, just to say this is a regular report that comes forward to the committee and provides the committee with an overview of the regulators' reports that we've received since the last meeting, and where, if any action that has been taken on recommendations contained in those reports where appropriate. Happy to take any questions, Chair.
Thank you very much. Do members have any questions of the officers in respect of this report? Thank you. There are no questions, and therefore, as I said earlier, this report is for information purposes only, and therefore we note the contents of the report. So moving on to the next agenda item, that's agenda item 7. The agenda item 7 report are the draft annual governance statement for 2022-2023, and the report can be found on pages 25 to 114, and again is here for information. Do officers have any comments to make on this report?
Just to add, Chair, that this is the, as you say, the draft annual governance statement for the 22-23 financial year. It's here for members to review and to take an assurance that the council has robust governance systems, procedures in place. So happy to take any questions, or my colleague Karen will. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Hugh. Do any members have comments or questions at this point? Thank you, Councillor Davis.
Sorry, one comment on the annual statement on page 78, Appendix A. I notice it's been signed off by the leader and the chief exec. I notice it's not dated.
Thank you, Councillor Davis. Yes, because it's a draft version for review, the final version will be coming back with the final version of the statement of accounts when they've been approved, and at that point in time it'll be dated. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Davis. Any other comments from any other members?
Nope. Councillor Davis, is that your hand still up? Do you have another question, or is it a legacy hand? Thank you.
Sorry, legacy.
Thank you very much. There appear to be no other comments or questions. As previously mentioned, this report is for information purposes. Therefore, we note the report. The next item is agenda item 8, which is the corporate risk management policy. The report is on pages 115 to 140 and is here for information. Do officers have any comments to make on this report?
Nothing to add, Chair. Thank you. I think the report is self-explanatory and is here for information. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Hugh, again. Do members have any questions or comments? Thank you very much. As there are no hands raised, as previously mentioned, this report is for information purposes. Therefore, we note the report. Moving on to the next item, agenda item 9. This is the draft statement of accounts for 2022-2023. It's a lengthy document, and the report can be found on pages 141 to 228 and is here for information. Do officers have any comments to make on the report?
Thank you, Chair. These are just the draft statement of accounts, which the Section 151 officer, Chief Finance Officer, signed off on the 26th of May. We passed them to Audit Wales, who will now commence their audit work, and we will be bringing them back to a committee once this work has been completed.
Thank you very much, Diane. Do members have any comments or questions? Thank you. There appear to be no comments. Therefore, we move on to the next agenda item, which is agenda item 10. This is the revised anti-fraud and corruption strategy. The report can be found on pages 229 to 242, and again is here for information. Do officers have any comments to make on this report?
Thank you, Chair. This is just the anti-fraud and corruption policy that has been revised. It went to P&R Cabinet in January 2023 for approval. So it's just been brought here for you to assist in discharging your duties in respect of audit services. Happy to take any questions, Chair.
Thank you very much indeed. Do members have any comments or questions? No indication of comments or questions, and thank you. Obviously, we take our role as Governance and Audit Committee very seriously, and then, as previously noted, this report is for information purposes, and therefore we note the contents of the document. The next agenda item is agenda item 11. Agenda item 11 can be found on pages 243 to 262, and again is here for information. Do officers have any comments?
This is the quarterly monitoring report that we bring to committee each committee. It's detailing all of the audits that have been undertaken. I would like to draw your attention that of all of the reports, only one has been issued with a limited assurance. Details of this are found in Appendix 3. However, I think it is worth noting that although it was a limited assurance, most of the building checks that were required were being carried out, and it was limited assurance on administration. So if anybody got any questions on anything, Emily and myself are happy to take questions.
Thank you very much indeed. Do members have any questions or comments? I see no hands raised, and therefore, as previously mentioned, this report is for information purposes. Therefore, we note the contents of the document. The next item is agenda item 12, and this is the internal audit annual report for 2022-2023. The report can be found on pages 263 to 274 and is here for information. Comments from officers, please.
Thank you, Chair. The report is the annual report that we bring to you to provide assurance on the audit work undertaken and the governance arrangements. This year again, we're issuing a reasonable assurance rating. It should be noted that this is the highest rating we can provide and is not absolute, as is mentioned in the report. And that's everything, Chair.
Thank you very much, Diane. Comments from members, please. I see no indication of comments, and therefore this particular document was for information, and therefore the contents of the report are noted. The next agenda item is agenda item 13, which is the Draft Governance and Audit Committee Annual Report for 2022-2023. This was a document that I drafted, having pulled together our work programme for the first 12 months of this particular iteration of the Governance and Audit Committee. I took obviously some information from officers, so it should be a complete picture of the annual report, but I would like to ask officers if they have any comments to add to what has been produced.
No comments, Chair.
Thank you very much indeed. Do members have any comments or questions? Thank you. There are no indications of any comments or questions. If we turn to the recommendation on page 276, and I'll allow you a moment to find 276, we have recommendations on that page, and therefore can I have a proposer and seconder, please?
I'm happy to propose, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Rogers.
Happy to second, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Carpenter. Therefore, could we ensure that members indicate by raising their hands that they, if they have any questions or are not in favour? Otherwise, I will assume that everyone is in favour of the recommendation.
I see no hands raised, Chair, so I can confirm that recommendation has been approved.
Thank you very much. So we note the approval and move on to agenda item 14, which are urgent items to be raised today. I have no urgent items as chair of this committee to raise, and therefore we move on to agenda item 15. Agenda item 15 deals with access to meetings. Are members in agreement to move into private session? I propose that we do so, and therefore if I could have a seconder, please.
Happy to second, Chair.